Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hazem, and I'll be presenting our Jira setup for Gitbus project. This is our five-step workflow, which follows the standard Jira workflow with additional steps for software quality management, like code review, which involves the static review of the code for any defects or issues, and also testing, which involves performing at least unit testing for the developed feature. Following that, I will show the automation rules. We have four automation rules. Three are the default Jira automation rules for child and parent task completion. And we have one custom rule to trigger the Jenkins CI/CD pipeline. This happens when the ticket status changes from code review to testing. Next, I will talk about the epics. In total, we have 11 epics for the Gitbus application. And they are divided into four categories. First is functional. Second, software quality control. Third, software quality assurance, and finally, deployment. So for functional, we have epics like authentication and authorization, database setup, student API, and so on. These are modeled based on the modules inside the application, and they mainly involve functional requirements and also quality control requirements and quality assurance requirements, which I'll come to later. After that, we have quality control. We have one epic, which is testing. Testing involves tasks related to integration testing and also system testing. For quality assurance, I have CI/CD for automation using Jenkins server. And also documentation, which involves API documentation and system documentations. These are used and they are reviewed to ensure that the system aligns with the requirements. And finally, deployment, which has the containerization and hosting epic. I separate between the CI/CD epic and the hosting and containerization because CI/CD is only on the Jenkins configuration. Containerization and hosting is more on the configuration for the Google Cloud Platform virtual machine, and also for writing the Docker file and Docker Compose. After that, I'll be showing our reports. In total, we have 64 tasks. All of them are complete, but this testing task I will come to you. I will come to later. This is the distribution for all tasks, including the epics, and this is the assignment of the tasks. The unassigned tasks are just the epics because I use them to group the subtasks, not to assign them. After that, I will just highlight the most important graphs, which is work item lead time. So you can see that the lead time taken to complete tasks has steadily reduced over time. Work item cycle, so these spike when we have, for example, free time to deliver the pending tasks. And also work item creation spikes at the start of sprints. I'll also show some extra reports, like, for example, the sprint burn down chart. This is for our last sprint. It spiked here because I added some tasks to test the application after deploying it, and also for the sprint before, for example. So you can see constantly going down. After that, I also want to show the cumulative flow diagram. So as you can see, over time, the share of done tasks has been steadily increasing until we finish the development. Okay. Next, I will show the releases. So we track app versions 0.0. So the first number is major release. The second number is minor release, which typically includes one or more features from the functional requirements. And the final number is just bug fixes. So as you can see, we have completed all the related tasks for each version. So all of them are released on GitHub, and also the final versions are web hosted. This is the timeline for our development. Okay, this is our timeline for the development. So the longest standing epic, we can say, are the CI/CD, database setup, and also authentication and authorization, because we gradually developed these modules. For GPS tracking model, we finished this one early, and for documentation, it started when we approximately at the time we finished the student API. So we started documenting these APIs for integration. So this is for our reports, and also an overview of the reports and also the project setup, and then I will go to the quality management. So for quality, we took 5 approaches that complement each other. First approach is to implement quality management epics. As I mentioned, like, for example, the CI/CD epic. As you can see here, for automation and also code quality, like scanning the code, building the code, testing the code, and so on, as well as testing, which includes integration testing and also system testing. We trace metrics like performance, error handling, reliability, and so on. And also the documentation epic. So I have here the format for the API documentation, and we also have the GitHub documentation. Other than that, we also the second method that we use is to integrate quality guidelines inside the functional epics themselves. Like, for example, if I go to authentication here, can see I have software quality guidelines related to security, role-based access control, performance, and also error handling. Inside the tasks stuff, I also have, not for all tasks, but some tasks have more detailed description of what needs to be included. If I go to APIs, for example, the student API, we have here guidelines for how authentication is handled using JWT. Because we also used a hybrid approach for JWT. We use access tokens and also refresh tokens. So we need to have some guideline on how to manage this, error handling, authorization, and so on to check the roles. The third approach is through the built-in dashboard feature. So I created a custom dashboard. This tracks basic metrics, like for example, created versus resolved tasks, resolution time, average resolution time. Reopened work, this divides the story points for reopened tasks which have been flagged as done, and then we change the status to, for example, in progress or testing, because we found an issue that needs to be resolved first before marking the tasks as done, divided by the total story points. I have the defect density, so we have 99% bugs out of all issue types, and this just tracks group members' work. So this is implemented using the native Jira graphs and also some simple plugins. But this is not enough for software quality management. So that's why I use two additional methods. First method is is through our Jenkins pipeline using Jira API. So after the SonarQube generates the quality report, Jenkins sends a summary message as a comment under this ticket. That's why we leave this ticket and don't mark it as done, because we always want to view. So Jenkins sends a summary of the quality report as a comment under this ticket, as you can see here for build 2019. So you can see the overall quality gate status, the number of bugs, the number of code smells, and so on. But again, this is not detailed enough. For example, I cannot view what this specific bug is. And that's why the final quality control or story quality management method that we implemented is through the SonarQube application inside the Jira App Store. So I use this application and I linked it with my SonarQube server and configure it to retrieve the detailed reports, the detailed quality reports for the application. So as you can see here, I can view the bugs, the code smells, details of the how the breakdown of my code, and also all of the alerts and recommendations. So if I want to see the details for this bug, for example, I can click here. So I can see it's a low priority reliability bug. So the combination of these approaches allow us to fully automate the software quality management process. So the first layer is that we have the software quality guidelines written inside the Epics in Jira. After that, I have the dashboards that generate basic metrics for me, like resolution time, bug density, and so on. And they pull automatically from the issues I write inside the Jira. After that, I have the summary message sent to the ticket by Jenkins as a comment, so I can quickly view if, for example, the build failed or if the quality gate failed. After that, the application failed to pass the quality gate. And after that, I can view the detailed breakdown through the SonarQube dashboard inside the Jira project. Yes, so that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eric. My reference number is 299300. I was the admin dashboard developer for Gitbus. So all my tickets are under the Git 6 admin dashboard epic. In the version of 0.01, I handle the core admin features, which has three Git, which is 12, 17, and 19. So in 12, I will be fixing on the creating bus routes with stocks. And for the 17, I want to view all the routes informations and buses on the dashboard. And for the 19 is to edit the route informations. So these all subtasks are done in 100%. And for the another version, which is 0.2.1, I fixed the bug which is under gate 43, where the admin module has broken imports and wasn't using the share authentication API correctly. So it was a critical fix for the system reliability. Then in the version of 0.03, so in Git 59, I update the API and the UI to support drawing routes directly on the OpenStreetMap using PostGIS geometry column. And in Git 47, I wrote the admin API documentation saved in the risk repo under documentations that our maintainability quality objective in actions. So this is all of 6 my tickets are not done, tracked through the full to do in progress, code review, testing, and done workflow. So that will be my part. I'll pass to the next person. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Vijay Jiang, battery number 29SSY, and I'll be presenting how I use Jira for project management to ensure quality. What I did across the project. So the first thing is authentication and authorization. So for this task, what I need to do is implement JWT and RBSC for authentication and authorization. And the goal is to enhance security, ensure scalability, and follow the compliance. Next is the quality guidelines. So I look at this guideline to ensure the quality is good. So the first thing I need to make sure was the security is good. The token management, all things are secure, and obviously need to enforce, and also need to ensure that the authentication and authorization are performance and smooth for error handling. That's its implementation. So what I did for the implementation is just to uh, write a short documentation for the APIs that I created from the authentication and authorization. Lastly is the complete narration backend. So for this, what I need to do is package the backend into a container that can consistently run across any environment lah. So the goal is to ensure consistency, efficiency, and separation of concern. And for quality, I need to ensure that the image size is small and security is good for the image. And then I need to build cache efficiency so that the Docker can reuse the cache layer so that it can be run faster lah. And then environment driven. Okay, I need to ensure that there's no secret hard coded because that's not secure. And lastly is I need to ensure that the cache is reliable enough to run so that we can free from failure lah. That's for me. Thank you.
In this presentation, we will through regarding to my task in Jira, specifically in Gitbus application. The first task that I need to do is the student API, which in this student API, I need to create the API backend that allow the student to see the location of the bus as well as their own location. And in this API backend also, I need to ensure that I properly integrate with the GPS tracking feature that have been made by NUT. And I need to create like a mock or a simple web application that not using the mobile app to ensure that my backend is fully working. And after that, I do the short documentation regarding to the student API backend inside the Git 49. The next task is a Git 56, which mobile application. And in this task, I need to create the driver app using Ionic Angular. And in this driver app, it consists of 4 main structure. The first one is register and login page. The second one is home page. The third one is campus map page. And lastly, the profile page. So I need to ensure that all of the main structure is working under the driver app, especially the integration of OpenStreetMap. And lastly, I need to do the testing, which is under Git 52 regarding to the driver app application. And in this testing, I need to do testing regarding to the quality of performance, error handling, and reliability.
Assalamualaikum to sir. My name is Nurul Nadira binti Zulkifli and my matrix number is 301315. Today I will be presenting about the tasks that have been assigned to me in Jira. So here, as you can see, there are 5 tasks that have been assigned to me. So each of these tasks have their chart tasks. So first of all, the task that have been assigned to me is basically the database setup. So for the database setup, what I do is I create an ERD describing the entities and their relationship about the application. And then second is I move to the Git 22, which is as a developer, I need to create a database named Gitbus DB to be set up using PostgreSQL. So and then second is I develop the students and driver apps, meaning that specifically for students table and driver tables. And then second is for GPS tracking. So for GPS tracking is I implementing the GPS tracking for both students and driver. So as you can see here, I have Git 39 and Git 40, which is implementing the GPS tracking for students and driver. And then the second one is documentation. So for the documentation, I write a short documentation for the tracking API, specifically for the driver. And then the fourth one is for testing. But before moving to testing, I have been assigned with the mobile application, which is I need to create the students app using Ionic Angular. So first of all, I create the student app first, and then once it's done, I move to the testing part, which is I test the student app's application. And then that's all for my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now let's talk about my part inside the Jira. Okay, my part is to create the admin page, admin dashboard site for our project. So as you can see here, one of my tasks is to create a dashboard application to perform a task based on API that has been already developed. So the thing that has been do is to create the initial layout of the dashboard of the admin part. So next, after the implementation, I need to fit the connection between the front end and back end by implement the missing authentication feature. So it's like this part also I need to add a login page for the admin. So by this, I have been connect the authentication token between the backend and the front end. And lastly is by testing the admin dashboard. So after the testing, the connection has been proved success.